Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we're getting into another Star Wars Mission Fleet line. This is going to be a double review because these actually go hand in hand with each other. This is the Star Wars. This is the line or geared from the show The Bad Batch, which I've actually never seen, but I heard some things about. And so the way they designed this was they had a set of 4-pack of guys here, and then separately they had a pack for the um the rider. This is what's this guy's name? Tech. His name is Tech from the Bad Batch, as it says on the box. I actually have his box over on the left side and the other one on the right side, though I can't fit them in the frame. So we're going to review them all together because most people, if they want to get the complete set of the Bad Batch, they would have to get both of them. Now, to my understanding, and I'm not an expert on the lore of this, that there was 4 members, and I think one of them defaults, which I think is him, and he is another member too. So, yeah, you would have to get all to complete it, but this guy actually later on becomes no longer a member of the Bad Batch, from what I know of, but I could be wrong because I don't really know all the lore. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back into the review. So first, I'm going to start with just showing the package. This is of the 4-pack of the men. You can see here they're fighting the guy over here. So that part of the lore might be true. I think the box art looks really nice. You see it says +4 and up, 4 plus. This line is just a great line. I've said it before in my past reviews. I think that it's just a really great line. I'll get into that in a little bit later. So here you can see the name of the characters: Hunter, Echo, Crosshair, and Wrecker. You see him, it says Imperial because he is not a part of the team, or at least maybe he was at some point and is not anymore. This shows you a couple of the other things that are for the line. And then we're going to check out the box art to the ATRT. People are pretty familiar. I don't know if that's the same name as the smaller landwalkers that were from the original movies. Somebody could comment on that and let me know. But you can see the box art on this looks really nice too. They put the side cannon, which is the attachable cannon that comes on the side with these things. So that's always cool. They put the actual things that you get in the box with the figure on the art. So that's cool. It shows you the things that it does, being able to shoot it and connect it to different locations. Right here, you get to see. And that's another thing I mentioned. I'm going to go back to the other box. These guys, this set comes with a lot of little extras. So here you see he's got a wrench. It looks like maybe some kind of welding tool. I'm not too sure what that is. And a little computer device maybe. And then it looks like a flashlight. It comes with a lot of stuff. And this is considered one of the medium ones. So I think this would go for like about maybe $14 to $20 when it originally came out. I think that this would count as, because of how many figures it comes with, maybe it counts as a medium or a small. No, I think both of these count as a small size, and I think a ship would be considered bigger. I'm not 100% sure. I think they count as small size, which would put them maybe in that $10 to $15 range when they first came out. Maybe. Don't quote me exactly because I don't really know. I wanted to show here that how they don't have all the weapons spread out, but he's got a little knife, and it actually slides inside a little knife holder, which I think is really cool. He's got his gun, a backpack. He has a backpack with a long rifle or gun. He has an arm attachment piece that can come off, which is really cool, in a backpack. And this guy here has a knife in a backpack, but what's cool is his knife actually has a holder in the back of his wrist or his forearm, which I think is very cool for this small scale size to still be able to do something like that. And I just want to quickly show that before I get into any of the other stuff in the characters. He's got the little holder right here. So if you're, let me get it focused, if you're playing with him, slide that right in there. And that is so cool to just be able to have that on him like that. You would think at this scale size figure, you wouldn't do something like that, but they do. And I think that's really cool. So pull that out. And let's just take a look at all the characters real quick. The details on them, you get a lot of detail. Like I said before, I really like this line because I think it's the perfect size for Star Wars for the scale size of figures, because Star Wars uses ships, spaceships. Some of them can get very big. And with that being said, look at the detail on him in his arm piece. With that being said, you can really get out of whack when it comes to the scaling of the ship sizes versus the size of the characters. What's a comfortable blend for a character who's big enough for you to play with, but then have a ship that you can actually hold in your hand and doesn't have to be sit there for display because it's so huge that it can't even fit on your table. This line really attacks that in two ways. One, you have smaller size figures of 2.5 inches as opposed to the traditional 3.75 or 3/4 inch scale. Let me pull this guy off so you can take a look at him. And in addition to that, being a smaller scale, they even have a slightly warped aspect of how most ships and vehicles size up versus the characters. So it's almost like the ships are at the exterior of them, as I mentioned in previous videos, will look within their own scale, and then they'll have a cockpit that is probably smaller than the size of what the real cockpit would be like, or the interior space, but at least you can get a figure in it while still maintaining the proper proportions of the ship on the outside. So anyway, this right here, you can see that he fits on this. I'm not going to sit him on completely properly, but he's able to ride this, and this is really cool. It's a land walker. Obviously you can attach here on this hole right here. The cannon would attach here, so you can get it on that side, or you can get it on the opposite side here. You can see the details on it, and yeah, it's very simple, but it's really nice. It's detailed, and it gets that point across. It's a very fun little setup here. And there's not much else to get into this thing. You see all the characters. I think it's really great for the money, for what you get, the value of it, at least when everything was in production. Unfortunately, I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning of this video, but I'll repeat it again. This line is no longer in production. Hasbro has stopped making Mission Fleet, which I think is sad, because I think Mission Fleet was probably the best compromise where you would have had space to actually build really big ships. And because they're okay with making things not exactly proportionate with the scale of the figure to the scale of the ship, and like I mentioned, there's a slight kind of difference there. They would have been able to make ships that are like super big, and it would have worked well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.